Okay, today we're going to talk about how we got started in the trucking business. A lot of people ask that question because they know that real estate, is our main business and bread and butter and has been for over 30 plus years. We first got started in the trucking business. We bought a few dump trucks and we actually bought them because we do a lot of demolition on properties that we're renovating and things like that. So we thought it'd be a good idea to buy some dump trucks because we were spending a lot of money on dumpsters. In 1 year, I think the company had spent must have been like 70,000 just on dumpsters. So I got to thinking, I said, well, why don't we just get some dump trucks and that will, cut some of that cost, and then we would be able to take those dump trucks to the sites where we're doing renovation or new construction at any time without having to wait on a dumpster or carrying the cost of dumpster fees. So we got the dump trucks, but we never used them because we found out, that it was hard to get drivers, and we had never been in the dump truck business or trucking business, so we didn't have any knowledge on how to hire drivers or deal with them, and that became a task in itself. So we had them for a while, never used them, sold them, and we had been all the way through them, made sure that they were, 100% right and ready to go, and never used them. So, that was a travesty in itself, especially knowing what I know now. We could have been putting them on the road and probably been making about $15,000 a week on those dump trucks. So when we sold them off, the trucking business was something that I had got interested in. Everybody that I know was kind of getting into trucking business, or that's what you were hearing. And I had a couple of good friends that were in the business. And so I had decided, I said, well, dump trucks here in Kansas City, Missouri are seasonal. We have about 4 or 5 months of, snow or heavy rains or cold weather, and dump trucks don't really run in those type of conditions. So I said, well, why don't we invest in semi trucks versus dump trucks, because they can run 24/7. And so we got into the trucking business that way. We started doing some research and we found some trucks that were at a hell of a deal. Had we known then what we know now, we would have bought probably 10, 15 at that time. We wound up buying 3 and we paid cash for them. But, that was another issue. We bought them, the titles got messed up some kind of way by the dealership. And so those trucks sat for about 15 months while we were trying to get that straightened out. So that means that we lost 15 months of revenue. By my estimates, that was a couple of $1 million in gross revenue, based on what I know now. And that's not profit, that's just gross. But net, if you gross a couple million, you can imagine what the net would have been from that. So that's how we got into the trucking business. And like I said before, we've learned a lot. We've taken a lot of hard knocks, and we've learned, that we need to have the right people to come into the business to help us get it off the ground and pretty much learn it overnight. I'm not a person that likes to take a lot of time. My patience is not as long as they should be, I would say. So I'm big on, hiring the right people to come in and help you get the job done that knows more than I do. So, being in the trucking business, I like it. I like the hustle and bustle of it. It is a very lucrative business. It's starting to get to that point anyway. But we learned a lot, man. Like I said, we took a lot of losses and we got fucked over by a lot of people. But, those things at the time seem bad, and you get pissed off, but we're back looking at it, we needed that so that we could move on to making millions of dollars. A lot of the lessons that we learned out of those fuckings actually will make us a lot of money in the long run, because it caused us to think more, to want to learn more, and to persevere throughout all of that. So that's how we got into the trucking business, and I'll kind of tell you, the trucking business, a lot of paperwork. You got to do a lot up front to actually get into the business. And so, we're gonna do a video on all the paperwork, financing a truck, maintenance of a truck, dealing with drivers, dealing with brokers, and so on and so on. I'm gonna give you a whole course in that. And I'm no better than it. I'm not a master teacher. I'm new to the trucking business. My forte is real estate. That's what I know, and I know well. That's what I'm really good at, and I'm supposed to. It's all I really know. I'm not a jack of all trades. I believe that life is too short to know a lot about everything. It's almost impossible. But I believe in learning something, mastering it, and you will always be successful and do well in it because you know your shit. And that's what people look for. I always tell my kids, you know, if I go to a barber and he cuts my hair good, guess what? I'm gonna be going to him for life until he fucks my haircut up. Same thing with a mechanic. If I go to a mechanic, he does a good job, then he's got a customer for life. But I deal with people that know what they're doing, and I expect a certain amount of professionalism from them in taking care of me and whatever my needs are, company needs, whatever the case may be. So we're gonna break it all down for you, teach you and show you what we know. We do consulting now. Michelle and I, as you've heard me talk about her before, she's the dispatcher slash office manager slash just all around. So we do consulting because she was born into the business. Her father had the first black trucking company, and she knows the ins and outs of it like no one I've met before. So we will be doing consulting. And like I said, I'm not a person that goes around and say, oh, I know everything about trucking business, but I do know now how to get it up and running and how to make it lucrative moving forward. And it's a good thing that I made those mistakes for you, that I've took the losses for you. So now I can tell you the do's and don'ts, and then Michelle will come in and clean it all up for you because she'll be able to tell you and show you everything that needs to be done. And so look forward to that coming soon. But if you're looking for somebody to put you in the trucking game, give us a call. Our fee is not that big. It's very small compared to what we would give you. And what we would give you, I guarantee you'll be very happy and satisfied that, you know, you hired us on as consultants to help you out in this business. So look forward to working with you.